This is Supernatural Selection on DeviantBehaviorRadio.com, hosted by Kevin the Bastard.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Supernatural Selection. Today is Opposite Day. I will be your host, Mike, the Skeptic sometimes, and we have also here
Kevin the Bastard. Why, hello.
So, it's Opposite Day because we're going to be discussing things that Kevin does not believe in.
Yeah, we really need to, there's a lot of stuff I, want to believe in. You know?
Yeah.
Like, UFOs, Bigfoot. I put a lot of stock in Bigfoot because, come on, man. It could be a monkey out there.
Because Henry and the Hendersons was very pivotal in your...
Harry and the Hendersons was, well, I'm not
shaped your childhood.
Yes, it shaped my childhood.
I was actually making a joke.
Were you?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. But yeah, there's some things that I don't believe. I don't believe in them at all.
So we will be delving into Kevin the Skeptic's deeply held skeptical beliefs.
I'm so happy about this. I'm excited, Mike, because, like I said, UFOs, Mothman, all this stuff, I'm like, the super spectrum, it could be like the Fey folk of modern eras, but stuff like Frankenstein, which is obviously a book, but as an example, I just don't believe in shit. Now, I've made a list of things that I don't believe in, and Mike knows a few other things offhand, but we're going to go into this and delve into these topics a bit.
And I'm going to try my darndest to make him believe them.
Mike's going to be playing the devil's advocate today.
So, first on the list, psychic vampires.
Just hearing you say it makes me feel dumber. All right.
I felt dumb just reading it off the page.
Okay, but you're the devil's advocate this time.
Oh, wait, that's right. No, they're real and true and psychically suck your psyche.
Okay, now we need to differentiate here. There are two types of psychic vampires. There's the brought up in therapy psychic vampires, the people that when you're around them, they just make you feel fucking exhausted.
They just suck all your energy.
Like that one guy in particular that used to work with us at the store.
And metaphorical energy, of course.
Yeah,
they just sap your will to live.
Not even that. It just makes you tired being around them.
Well, they could suck any number of energies. Your actual, physical energy, your will to live, your patience even.
Yeah, bitch, suck my energy.
Just sucking all your patience away by being annoying, just another former coworker.
Yeah, I don't know which one we're talking about. There's a couple.
But
yeah, no. So what we're talking about this time, Mike, you know about the actual psychic vampires.
So what we're talking about, I guess, is like what we do in the shadows, the psychic vampire there. He actually literally feeds off.
Yeah, and what gets
energy.
me, the reason, people that think they're vampires, like real life vampires.
People that read way too much Anne Rice.
Exactly. They go around and I drink blood, but they know they're not actually vampires on some level,
Like cut their girlfriend a little bit and lick the
it's
blood
like
off.
Sex play kind of a thing, which that's a whole different podcast. What we're talking about are the people that I have to keep my powers under control or I'm going to drain the psychic energy of everyone around me. I don't need to do that. I have to ask permission. It's like, motherfucker, you're just annoying. The reason everybody seems tired around you is because you're annoying.
You are just too twee to live.
Twee?
Oh. Twee.
Plur. Peace, love, understanding, respect. No, I don't. No. It's like this whole thing where people, think that they actually drain life energy from you psychically.
Well, see, here's the thing. Those people are called extroverts. I know.
No.
Well, no, this what I'm saying is these are extroverts that are confusing that with actual vampirism.
I think these are people who have undiagnosed mental illness.
Well, that too, of course.
But, I mean like... Cause
Kevin, I think this whole list can come down to undocumented, well, most of them.
No, one of them is definitely undocumented mental illness. But, like, it just... I can't believe that.
Well, I'm supposed to argue for this. I don't know. This is like probably the hardest one to argue for because...
I know. Well, let's just discuss it then. Like, part of the problem I have with this is, okay, I do believe that there is some form of psychic phenomenon, alright? I need to say that right out, but I don't believe that people feed on other people's brain waves.
To say so for these people to feed on it, that means they don't need any other form of nourishment.
Oh no, they gotta eat.
Well, then that's not feeding. Wait a minute, I'm not I'm arguing the wrong side again.
No, again, it's really hard to argue this one way or the other, you know, because it's actually no, it's really hard to argue for this one. I purposely set you up with the second hardest one right out the gate.
I don't know. Pretty much all these others, I think I can, mount a valid defense on.
All right, well...
Or valiant, anyway.
But my point is, they say, oh, I feed on people's psyches, I get energy. Okay, why didn't you go to McDonald's for a fucking McGriddle?
No, Kevin. 3 McGriddles.
Okay, that's true. It is always someone that has eaten 3 McGriddles.
Because they wouldn't have the energy to go to McDonald's and get the McGriddles if they didn't suck other people's energy. Let me guess. Most of these people... Wait a minute. Most of these people probably have very skinny significant others.
This is like Marty and his ex. Do you remember Gidget?
Yeah.
How, like, every time we saw them, she was bigger and he was thinner, and we were terrified he was just going to be like a face on her shoulder.
You know what that's called?
What?
That's the redneck Romeo and Juliet.
That is the number 10.
Well, that's a very common thing here in Mississippi.
It really is, but like...
very large lady and her, like, bony, like...
They come in the store all the time. And no, I'm not...
Everywhere.
We're not trying to body shame anybody. I need to say that. But there's
You're not.
I'm not. But there's a couple type that's real goddamn common here in Mississippi. And,
like I said, the redneck Romeo and Juliet.
The redneck Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Like, okay, you're... Never mind. I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to go there. The point is, it is kind of like that. You know?
See, she's feeding off his energy.
She's not feeding off his energy. He can't get enough sustenance to live because all of it goes into her cavernous gullet. Like, she's inhaling all the food in the kitchen, and he just has to grab the Triscuits that fall from the funnel. This is mean-spirited, and I apologize, but, like, I don't apologize. This is funny as hell. Just picture it, this little dude, like, yes, like Gollum and the Blob from X-Men living together. But the Blob...
I will say I've also seen it the other way, too.
Oh, that's totally a thing. Because it's always like that because, as I said, someone is only eating what they can scavenge from the other one. But as far as psychic vampires go, it's not like that. It doesn't work because...
I wonder if there's meth involved.
Meth?
Meth. Yeah, like the skinny one's on meth, and the fat one's just addicted to food. And psychic energy, of course.
And, of course, psychic energy.
Well, you know, the person's tweaking out on meth, and they're just hoovering up all that psychic energy. There's more psychic energy when they're on meth.
You know what? The bad thing is, I can't disprove this. Like, there's literally, as much as I know that this is bullshit, I can't disprove that.
I make too much sense.
From any, like, because, I mean, how am I going to test that? I can't stick a thermometer up both their butts and go, whoa, you just got colder. So, obviously, this other person is feeding off you. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you've got a block of cheese and a box of Cheez-Its, and he is injecting himself with something.
We need a couple of EEG machines.
Uh-huh.
some experts that can read them, a sterile medical environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be way too hard to test.
Yeah, there's no way to actually test this. So, while I still stand firm on the fact that psychic vampires are complete bullshit,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can't disprove it.
So on the
You can't prove it either.
The Kevin scale of what's your scale? How do you want to make your scale?
It's a 1 to 10. A 1 being absolutely impossible, complete bullshit, and 10 being I believe this wholeheartedly.
And probably have seen evidence to the...
Or personal experience. Yeah, something along those lines, yeah.
Where do you put psychic vampires?
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is a 1, dude. This is like straight up,
completely
like,
bullshit.
and this is a list that, I'm going to go ahead and throw a spoiler out there, has the fucking Loch Ness Monster in there. This is a 1.
Well, good. Then we could segue into the next topic. The Loch Ness Monster.
Holy shit, I must be psychic. Maybe I'm a psychic vampire feeding off of this notepad in front of us.
Well, no, the psychic vampires don't have access to the information.
Oh, that's right. That's the other thing that kills me about psychic vampires. Motherfucker, win the lottery or something with it.
Nah, you just feed it. They don't look at what they eat. They just eat it.
Maybe that's why they didn't pass the GED.
Yeah.
Like, I could have passed the GED, but old Martha over there, she just sucked all that stuff right onto my head. Look at her. Just look at her.
All right, we're supposed to be going on to another
Loch
large
Ness monster. We're going to... Jesus Christ, dude, that's great. So, the Loch Ness Monster. So, let's talk about what you know about Mr. Lochy Nessie Monstery.
So, all I know about the Loch Ness Monster is it's in the Loch Ness in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Scotland. It's a large aquatic creature from the Mesozoic, and he's about 350.
You know what? You've covered every factual thing we actually have about the Loch Ness Monster. Now, before we really launch into the Loch Ness Monster, Loch Ness has always been kind of associated with both the Christian church and occultism.
Pagans,
but also like modern day occultists. Aleister Crowley had a cabin on the shore of Loch Ness. And you know that song, Synchronicity Part 2 by the Police? How it talks about the shadow on the door of a cabin of a dark Scottish loch. I'm convinced they're talking about Crowley's cabin.
Was it a sex cabin?
Mike, it's Aleister Crowley. Everything he had was a sex cabin.
Was there butt stuff going on in there?
There's always...
Okay, when was there not butt stuff going on with Al?
I swear to God, man, there were probably fucking
Al. I'm just calling him Al. Al Crowley.
Al Crowley had fucking carrot strap-ons with his wives, I'm sure. I don't know. All I know is he had a cabin there, and this is also where he did like the...
This was before the... Was this before the monster was first photographed? Was there...
Yes. Now, there had been like reports of the monster.
Yeah.
Which is the whole goddamn reason Crowley bought.
Okay, so there were reports of something
house.
Weird going around.
Now, allegedly, there had been reports as far back as like the 1300s. But like, as always, the evidence is kind of sketchy. Because it's always like, somebody said to someone else that a priest banished a monster that was in the loch. So it's kind of questionable.
Out, damn monster.
Exactly. So, like, let's say you know this history because you live around Loch Ness. Well, you're like, oh, they say there's a monster in the lake, and somebody happens to see like something like 3 lumps in the water.
Yeah.
And they're like, I seen them in whatever the Scottish equivalent of a redneck Mississippian, I seen them kind of accent is. Oh, I done seen the beastie, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, can I just go ahead and lay it out there? It's always a log.
How can it be logs, though? I mean, I've seen stuff from Loch Ness. There's not a lot of trees around there. It's a very stony soil.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But here's the problem. Loch Ness, while it's a big goddamn lake, could not contain a breeding population of plesiosaurs to support
that you know of. It's that place is really deep.
Okay, look, it's not like hell deep, though.
I mean, it's so murky, they've never explored the whole bottom. There could be like a tunnel passage that leads to like some other
lake
area
or something. Okay, look, putting that aside for a second.
Maybe it goes to the Hollow Earth.
When did you watch Godzilla vs. Kong again? Just out of curiosity.
When you did?
Okay, alright. I'm just double checking here. Now here's the thing. Putting that aside, which is actually a pretty good argument that I would have made. So, good on you, Mike. But here's the thing. Let's look at the most famous photo of the Loch Ness Monster ever taken, alright?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the famous surgeon's photo.
Yeah.
Alright. The problem is that is a zoom in of the surgeon's photo, and I've seen the full surgeon's photo, which shows the guy with the remote control for the toy submarine with the cutout on it.
Yeah, well, I have evidence about that.
Do you?
Yeah, that's actually fake.
Wait, what?
It's fake. I mean,
the surgeon's photo?
Yeah, it's obviously fake.
Well, yeah, it's obviously fake. So the
But they faked it because they knew.
No, I don't think they knew.
Well, not they knew, but
they were playing a prank.
But they knew that something was there in the beginning.
But my point is, I just don't believe that there could be a breeding population of plesiosaurs. And I don't really believe in the Hollow Earth either.
It's not it doesn't have to be a breeding population in the loch, just one really, 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 really old one.
Are you telling me?
No. So.
Oh no.
The loch is fairly far north, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it was frozen in a glacier and thawed out?
Are you telling me
it's just a lone plesiosaur?
That one
from the Cretaceous period.
One plesiosaur Captain Caveman himself into the modern era.
It was an accident.
I'm not saying he fucking planned the shit like, yes, I'm going to find the stock market.
You said it like it was an
I know, but like the point is...
No, he Captain America himself.
Okay. All right. He Captain America himself. Look, this is stupider than any logical argument you had right off the bat. Like, let's go back to this Hollow Earth thing.
I mean, you've seen there's plenty of stories about like solo whales getting trapped in inland, estuaries and things, can't get out.
Okay, all right. Have I?
I'm saying it's happened.
There are stories about that. Okay, but from like the 1300s to the modern era, you're saying like, are you saying it's one plesiosaur or like every now and again a plesiosaur gets trapped in Loch Ness?
I'm just saying how it could have gotten
there. Like prehistoric SeaWorld.
Well, we don't know how old plesiosaurs lived to be.
I'm kind of guessing 20 years.
They tops. Could, who knows? I mean, turtles can live to be, hundreds of years.
Okay, still.
Who says a plesiosaur can't live to be 500
well, here's the thought.
Years old?
Let's go back. Like I said, let's go back to this Hollow Earth thing. What if instead of Hollow Earth, it's like this vast underground, like reservoir, like enormous of water, and there's like a population of them, and they keep coming up. Why am I arguing for this?
Well, see, yeah.
Because it appeals to me. Yeah. It's opposite day, though. That's bullshit. There's no goddamn way there's a fucking dinosaur in that lake. It is either... maybe it's a plesiosaur made out of logs.
Robo-plesiosaur.
Robo-plesiosaur. They did an episode of Gargoyles about that?
No.
Yeah, they had a robot Loch Ness monster.
Well, alrighty then. So, if it's not a breeding population of plesiosaurs.
Completely impossible.
Not a frozen plesiosaur.
Because, goddamn it, I refuse to believe Hanna-Barbera figured this out.
Well, Marvel did it first.
Okay, fair. Still, I like my Captain Caveman reference.
Not And I didn't until just this moment get the Captain Caveman, Captain America rip-off angle there. Both captains, both frozen in ice.
I just got that myself. Holy shit. Wow, everybody write into Hanna-Barbera and tell them Marvel did it first.
Not a robo-plesiosaur.
Not a robo-plesiosaur. What, are you saying it could be a Highlander? Like it's immortal? Like there could be only one, and now there is only one Loch Ness Monster because he had a claymore?
Maybe it's fairy folk. Kevin just looked at me like I sprouted.
No, I'm looking at you because you're stealing my shtick. Which I know it's opposite day, but so what you're saying is that this is like some kind of an entity from the super spectrum.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
people are saying
it's the Loch Ness Monster doesn't have to be
a physical thing,
or not even a physical thing, but not even a mortal thing. Maybe it's a ghost plesiosaur.
This is like the ghost monkeys from last week. I can't argue that one. I mean, I can't prove the existence of ghosts. I can't prove the existence of the superstructure. I don't want to believe that it's a ghost dinosaur, but here we are. I still don't believe in this shit, though. But, like, the only thing I've ever seen that made me question it was there's this one photo taken from a submarine that could maybe be a flipper, or maybe it's just fucking sunlight coming through mud. Have you seen the flipper photo from the 70s or 60s? It's this great photo. It really does look like a fucking dinosaur flipper. But I'm calling bullshit because it was taken through mud.
Mud.
A lot of mud.
But that is a very, very cloudy.
It is like and I think that's why the locals keep talking about the monster, is because you can't disprove it because you can't see a goddamn thing. And it's like there have been reports that they've seen the thing crossing the road, and I'm like, I'll believe it when someone with a cell phone.
Are there like fish in Loch Ness?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what its ecological.
I'm pretty sure there are fish in Loch Ness. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of their big tourist things is
Fishing
and boating. And,
well, a lot of boating. But...
And fucking blind scuba diving because you ain't seeing a goddamn thing in that lake.
There's good fishing in Loch Ness.
I got a monster. Guessing Men in Black are gonna come kill me now.
Alright, so on your scale, where do you put old Nessie?
Alright, here's the thing.
I do notice here you say Loch Ness, so you don't believe in Loch Ness. And he doesn't believe in the body
I don't
of
believe
water.
in the whole fucking lake, man. It was conspiracy come up with by like the Columbia House Record Club to sell records.
Interesting supposition there.
Yeah, no, I decided I'd go full Clark Wayne on it.
So,
him and his fucking birds. But no, seriously, the Loch Ness Monster...
Do you give it any credibility at all?
I give it a 5.
Really?
5 or a 6.
Even though it's things that aren't, you're still not...
It's things that aren't, but it's, out of these, the one I can disprove the least. Because, like, there is also a part of me that's like, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if there were dinosaurs? I mean, it's the same thing as fucking MacLeod in Africa, the blocker of waters. Then when they go out there and show the tribes people these photos of animals, it's like, well, does the thing look like this? No, it doesn't look like that. It's not a rhinoceros. How about this? It's not a fucking elephant. And then they turn to, like, just this random picture of a fucking brontosaur, and they're like, that's it! And they're like, bullshit! So, I mean, like, you know, it's interesting. And I'd love for it to be true. I can't disprove it. But I'm not believing it until they fucking shoot one in the head, drag it up, and let me poke it with a stick.
So if they actually pulled one out of the loch, you'd be buying a plane ticket to Scotland?
I would be buying a plane ticket to Scotland for 2 reasons. 1, to poke it with a stick. Number 2, I want to know what it tastes like.
You would eat the
I
Loch
would
Ness
eat
monster.
the shit out of a Loch Ness monster.
What if it's like a radioactive goldfish? With 3 eyes.
Well,
except just really big.
I'm just gonna have fucking stomach cancer then.
All right then.
I'm gonna still eat it.
So, a 5 out of 10. So we
5
kinda
or a
gotta
6?
get
Let's
down
go
the middle.
5.5.
You're subdividing your own scale.
Okay, 5. It's a 5.
All right,
It's
it's
a
right in the
solid
middle.
5 in the middle.
So next is the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, this is fucking bullshit, dude. This is complete fucking...
What?
This is like...
All those planes, all those boats have gone missing.
All right, look. I know I said 1 through 10, but if I could put a 0 on the scale, this would be a fucking 0. And I know there are probably people that are surprised because there's all these stories about, like, let's start with, like, the most famous disappearance in the Bermuda Triangle.
The planes, the
Avenger Squadron. Yeah. All right, so all the literature, and anytime I say literature in this show, I'm talking about the paranormal literature written by people that were foaming at the mouth at a coffee house, all right? They always say, oh, there was green fog sticking to the planes, and they would say, and sky looks strange, ocean is weird, there's electricity all around us. You know, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
All right? The entire Bermuda Triangle thing happened. First off, the leader of the Avenger Squadron, this was not his first time getting lost there. The audio transmissions are full of his squadron going, boss, we're around Bermuda. No, we're in the Florida Keys. Bermuda, boss, I'm telling you we're in the Florida Keys, and if we keep going, we're going to find Florida. Until they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And fucking crashed. Now, the reason this is important is because the military tribunal found this man was incompetent. His family sued to have his name cleared, and it was. So it was stricken from his record because his family would not accept the fact that he was from somewhere up the eastern seaboard and didn't know anything about the area, and had been lost like 3 times in this area because he kept thinking Bermuda were the Florida Keys. All right?
Okay.
The rescue effort also vanished in the Bermuda Triangle
See?
during a hurricane.
Irrelevant.
It is completely relevant.
You're telling me that they set out not knowing there was a hurricane?
They knew there was a hurricane, but they were trying to rescue their people because they thought there was time. They went out, and the problem being that none of the literature ever bring up the fact that so many of these disappearances were either during hurricanes or severe tropical storms.
There's not that many hurricanes and tropical storms in the Gulf of Mexico. God damn it.
Mike,
They don't happen that often.
You were at my house during fucking Katrina, god damn it. Again.
They don't happen that often, gee.
No,
You're
it's like
overstating it.
one every 7 years, isn't it? It's like, or one every 4 years. It's like the Olympics or an election. No, there's multiple per year. Not all of them turn into hurricanes. Not all of them have landfall, but they do happen in Bermuda a lot. And I'm just going to throw this out there. There's the whole the ships. Everybody's like, well, what about the ships that disappear? There's a huge methane deposit in the Bermuda Triangle.
What?
When the bubbles of the methane come up, they fuck up whatever physics keep boats afloat and cause them to sink. Buoyancy. They fuck up the buoyancy of the boats and they sink. Basically, and I'm just going to boil this down because I am really bad at math and science. This is where you usually will be explaining this stuff. But since it's opposite day, y'all are just going to have to take my word for the fact that the boats that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle are either A, storms, or B, ocean farts. The ocean farts and it kills the boat.
Yeah, but what about the crazy compass stuff that goes on? There's a lot of reports of compasses just going wild and crazy and the compass is spinning
always
around.
In the literature. It's never in the original reports.
But you're telling me that the literature these people are writing is wrong?
I'm telling you that the literature these people are writing is sensationalistic to sell books. Like, there's a great story that a guy told on Coast to Coast AM, which, we're in some great territory here. This guy claims that he got lost in the Bermuda Triangle as a test pilot and lived on an island for 4 years, just having sex with native women left and right until they're like, you gotta go, man. And paddled him out into the middle of the fucking ocean and dumped him and then left him there, and the military picked him up and, like, debriefed him for 5 years.
So he claims like 9 or 10 years of his life just gone.
Gone on Fuck Island in some extra-dimensional plane in the Bermuda Triangle because his fucking his plane was covered in fog and the compass went woo and shit.
Yeah, but what about all the ball lightning and the St. Elmo's fire? And
now that's fairly common all over the ocean, so like I'm not going to argue that.
They say it happens more in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, and, you know, that's because they're looking for it. If you're looking for something, you're going to find it. If I were to pick out another random triangle somewhere in, say, the Atlantic, I bet I could find a lot of that, too. You know what else I could find? Fucking boats sinking and planes crashing.
Don't they say there's another triangle in, like, the...
Oh, that's a Devil's Triangle in Japan.
Yeah.
And, they literally think there's a dragon down there. I don't have anything else to say. I just said there's a dragon living under the ocean that sinks boats.
You can't prove it's not one.
I'm pretty sure we could, but the Japanese actually don't want to go and do that.
Well, actually, that's true. Here's the thing. If there was a dragon living in the ocean, the Japanese would have caught it and ate it.
Ooh, that would be delicious.
Claiming it was for research purposes.
Uh-huh.
I like the Japanese. I don't like their whaling practices, though.
No, that's really true. So, Bermuda Triangle.
You already said it was a 0.
It is a 1. Because I
refuse
with a vengeance to go down to 0, because I already said 1 to 10, it is 1 with a vengeance.
All right.
It is one of the biggest bullshits on here next to psychic vampires, to me.
From one watery patch of the earth to another, Atlantis.
Oh, fuck. Okay, here's the thing. I really wish I could believe Atlantis.
I mean, but Plato. You're not going to believe Plato. Or Play-Doh.
Can y'all hear my eyes rolling in the sockets? Just out of curiosity. Here's the thing about Atlantis that I really love. Alright, the fact of the matter is the origin of the story is in antiquity, in a time long lost to man, in Plato's time, you know? And he claims he got the information from a dude, who got it from another dude, who got it from Herodotus, who got it from a priest in Egypt, who got it from another priest in Egypt, that said he read it in a chamber under the ass of the Sphinx.
Also a very credible and documented chain of information.
Oh my fucking God. You are just trying to piss me off here. But here's the thing. It's always been said that Atlantis is... It's basically here's how a city-state can fail and piss off the gods while they're at it. Alright? Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that because his story of where he got the information was just like, okay, this is where I got it. Y'all can believe it or not, I don't care. This is basically, I'm just trying to explain why fucking rum's fucked. Or Greece is fucked. Also, and this is the biggest argument I have, fucking plate tectonics. They don't just sink.
Well, it could have been like an underground shield volcano that was cooled, and the island was on it, and then because there's just this big void underneath, it collapsed into the sea. Look,
that's logical. I can't argue that. Maybe there was. And here's the thing. I want to point this out. This is very, very important. I'm not saying this is going to make me look even more crazy than Atlantis, but I'm not saying that there wasn't some advanced, quote-unquote, human civilization somewhere in the past. And when I say advanced, I mean with, numbers and shit, not like ray guns and shit.
What, you're saying they didn't have crystal-powered airplanes?
I am saying that, God damn it, I feel like I'm getting a tumor in my brain from this episode. But, like, I'm saying that there were not crystal airplanes. I'm saying that whole thing. And that's not even in Plato's story. He said it was just a series of rings surrounding, like, a central temple. And they were, like, really smart, really culturally advanced. And they had, like, all kind of, like, connections with the rest of the world. And then Poseidon said, no, fuck you in particular. And the island sank because they did something stupid. I don't know. Maybe they fucked a goat. I don't know. The point is,
it's the Roman gods, so they could have just done anything. It could have, like, someone just said, fuck Poseidon. Poseidon was like, no.
I'm not saying that happened because I don't believe in the Greek or Roman gods. Jesus Christ, I've lost my train of thought. The point is, I don't believe in this. I believe that there was an ancient civilization. I believe, as Graham Hancock says, we may be a species with amnesia. That whole cycles of civilization could have happened. Mm-hmm. You know? That's conceivable.
Yeah.
But Atlantis is just a story.
But what if it was built on the bones of the truth?
Again, I can't argue that. Because
could have been an advanced...
A racial memory?
No, an advanced civilization. Maybe even like ancient aliens or who knows what. But they had this island society. But then they, people would come and visit sometimes. And then they decided, well, we need to get the fuck out of here. So they left. And next time someone comes to visit, like, hey, I'm here to... There's no island here anymore. Where the fuck they go?
Okay, Mike.
And then they go and say, hey, Atlantis just disappeared. I don't know. It was there 3 weeks ago when I came and visited. Got some ciabatta bread. Now it's gone.
Ciabatta bread. Look, I'm as big a fan of Stargate SG-1 as the next guy.
They could have just moved Atlantis. Doesn't necessarily mean it...
To the Pegasus galaxy. And Jason Momoa was there. I see where you're going with this.
No, not at all. It's completely different. It's a completely different thing.
It doesn't have anything to do with that.
I'm not saying they... I'm just saying they maybe moved it to Kansas. Who knows?
Well, there's your thing, guys. I don't know who's listening, but...
To the Nevada desert, Groom Lake. That's where they put it.
It's in Area 51 is Atlantis. There you go, guys. Y'all go storm it, do your Naruto running, find the Atlantean artifacts. I'm still calling bullshit on this one, just because I don't think there's anything you could say to me that would convince me that Atlantis itself, as described, existed.
Well, I'm just saying it could have been... Like you said, it was... What, 10th hand information?
Yeah, let's go 10th, because, like, fuck.
I mean, it's a game of telephone, but the game of telephone started with something.
What if it turns out there was a time traveler and it was all just about Atlanta?
It was Dragon Con.
It was Dragon Con. This whole thing was a time traveler from Dragon Con ended up in the past and told an Egyptian.
Yes.
You know what? I'm willing to buy that.
That'd be a magical place with, the Hyatt kind of has these rings.
Hey, and you know what? You know what ended Atlantis? Hedonism. It's Dragon Con. I'm going to accept this as an explanation, Mike. I'm going to put this at a solid 3.
Not quite.
Quite believable, but not quite bullshit enough. I'm going to put Atlantis at a 3 just because there's literally no way to disprove it. There's no way to prove it, and I really like the idea that it was a nerd.
There are ways to prove or disprove it, but it would require mapping the entire seafloor in excruciating detail.
I love the Irish archaeologist that said Ireland was Atlantis. So, I'm pegging it at a 3.
And you like pegging.
And I love pegging.
Or pagans.
That too.
All right, so after that shocker, here comes the chupacabra, the Mexican goat sucker.
Yes.
What What is the description, the common description? Like, what size is it?
Something about the size of a wolf or so, usually.
It sucks the blood out of goats nocturnally.
And there are so many different descriptions of it physically. Like, sometimes it's got spines sticking out of its back, or wings. Like, you remember in Coda's World, I used to draw them as, like, little, like, Trumpy from Pod People.
Yeah. So wings? I never heard of the wing description.
Oh, yeah, no, they have wings sometimes. Okay. Which is, like, the most ridiculous version. But they always have, like, glowing orange eyes and spines and claws and sharp, pointy teeth.
Why'd you say that like a Scot?
Because I was thinking about Monty Python. You know, the whole, death awaits y'all with big, sharp, pointy teeth.
Hey, yes, hey, this thing has spines and teeth, yo.
Yeah, I know. But, like, hey, man, this thing ate my guts. I don't know what the fuck. But, yeah, no, seriously. The story of the Chupacabra.
So how far back do the...
1996.
That's the earliest?
That is the earliest
So
report.
it's not even a Mexican folklore?
It's not even Mexican. It's Puerto Rico.
Wait, what?
It's the Puerto Rican Chupacabra.
I thought it was Mexico.
No, it's more recent than that even. That's around 2000, 2005, somewhere in there.
What?
There's the... I forget to mention, there's two Chupacabras. There's the Puerto Rican Chupacabra, which has the wings and the spines and flies around and is like...
I've only ever heard of the Mexican
and
one.
attacks goats. And then there's the...
So Puerto Rico, the territory of the United States...
Mm-hmm. 96.
That you can go to without a passport.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just a Mexican thing.
Nope. Dude found his goat dead with puncture wounds on the neck and some blood drained. And he said there were scratches. And the thing is, they weren't all over the body. It was around the neck. You know, like a bat might do. Like a vampire bat might do.
I think the danger of vampire bats is, like, way exaggerated.
Well, the thing is, they don't attack people.
Yeah, and they
here's the thing. Let's from an okay. You go ahead. You go ahead.
You've seen a vampire bat, right? They're like not very big.
No,
they're small, like little mice with wings.
Yeah,
they don't drink much blood.
Well, there are larger vampire bats.
They don't get that big though. They don't get the size of like a flying fox.
Well, okay, fair.
They're fairly small creatures.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it would take like 30 of the motherfuckers to kill something.
What if there were 30? And this is all based on the death of a single sheep.
Its neck would look like hamburger. 30 vampire bats sucking on it.
What if it was anemic?
Are there even vampire bats in that part of the world?
Yeah.
I thought they were all like European.
Nope.
I thought they were all
No, there are some in South America,
tropics.
Puerto Rico, Mexico.
I don't have my phone, so I can't call bullshit on that.
Okay, well, this is what I've read. But, like, the Puerto Rican Chupacabra is just, like, insane. Like, a lot of it, and what
if the Chupacabra's a mutant vampire bat?
Okay, here's the thing. One of the
Because
theories...
you said some of them have wings, which I'd never heard of before either.
Okay, so, like, a mutant large vampire bat.
Yeah.
Okay, no, great. All right, fine. Doesn't mean it's a fucking Chupacabra. It just means it's a vampire bat.
No, it would be a Chupacabra then if it's not... If it's a mutant
vampire bat.
vampire
Sure, I mean, you classify it as a Chupacabra. Great, fine, okay, but it's not an escaped government experiment or an alien.
Well, no one's saying... Well, we're not saying that.
But they do. They say it is. Some of them say it's a demon because
it could be an alien. Could be an alien.
How could it be an alien?
It could be like an alien experiment that escaped.
No. They say it's an alien. Like, okay.
I mean, aliens are known to like, take livestock blood.
They're also known for coring out the assholes of the livestock and biting their noses off, basically.
Yeah. So what's a few dead sheep compared to,
a dead sheep.
Okay.
Here's the thing. There were more dead sheep, all right,
or
later.
Goats. There are
goats.
goats.
Dead goats. Right. Okay. But the point is, the entire phenomenon of the chupacabra in Puerto Rico lasted until 1997.
Yeah.
1 year. Then they started reporting it in Mexico and Texas.
So the chupacabra migrated. I mean, lots of animals migrate.
Mike, is this how you feel when I do the episodes?
Sometimes.
Okay, because, like, this is... how have you not killed me yet?
Patience. Lots of patience.
Dude, I cannot thank you for being such a good friend. Like, seriously. Here's the deal.
But if it is an alien, it just hopped aboard, a ship and went to another area because it knew the heat was getting too high. It was like, this little fucking island, I can't keep sucking these goats dead, so let me get the fuck out of here. Here's a great place, Mexico. No one gives a shit if there's dead goats in Mexico.
He's right over there, man. So, here's the thing. God, this fucking hurts. So...
See, that leads more credence to the fact that it's not just some mutant vampire bat.
It really does.
It's an alien.
I mean, like...
Because it moved. It moved from Puerto Rico to Mexico. I mean, that infers that it might have some intelligence. I think I injured him.
You've injured me in the way that I injure you. Look, here's the thing. Let's go with the I don't have anything to follow that up with because it's just so goddamn dumb.
I'm afraid I'm giving, like, conspiracy people ammunition.
This is all shit that they've already argued that I've read about. The problem is the report, the explanations are just scientists doing what I'm doing, which is just...
No.
No.
That's not how that works.
None of this
how mutants...
does this. No. So, the Mexican Texas chupacabra is much more violent. It's known more for tearing out throats.
Yeah.
Which is much more of like a fucking wolf.
I don't think there are wolves in there, but...
No, but, okay, there have been these reports. Like, people
maybe
finding...
a coyote or something.
They'll find these dead bodies that they say are chupacabras, right? And they bring them to scientists going, I found me one of these here chupacabras. And the scientists will be like, wow, that's a really sick dog with the mange. Now, there have been some interesting reports, like when they take the dogs in, like, it'll have physical characteristics that don't match normal breeds of dogs or wolves.
Yeah.
Which indicates a type of hybrid. Like, I don't know what's fucking out there.
A chupacabra.
I really wish y'all could see me just fucking face palming every time he does this.
Dude, these are obviously the bastard offspring of the chupacabra and some wild dogs or coyotes. And
dogs and coyotes, maybe. All right.
And chupacabra. The chupacabra and dogs are coyotes.
Are you telling me that these aliens that you purport to have possibly some form of intelligence looked at dogs and said, hey,
well,
I'm gonna fuck this shit out of that thing. I'm gonna fuck that thing so hard, I'm gonna spawn a whole hybrid race of fucking goat killers.
It's alone, obviously, so, any port in a storm.
You know, what's amazing me about this one is it's not that I can't argue on a logical basis.
Basement.
Logical
Logical basement. That's what this should be called. The logical basement.
Dumped in the logic basement and the door sealed forever. But it's not that I can't argue on a logical basis. It's that what you're saying is so stupid that I'm staggered to inertia. I cannot fucking move mentally.
Because I just beat you to death with stupid.
You just grabbed the dumbest kid in school by the ankles and clubbed me over the head with him.
Well, see, that just shows that Chupacabra is basically Lilo and Stitch. Some alien thing that's obviously, violent, and maybe it was dumped on Earth to get rid of it, and it was in Puerto Rico. I don't know how it got to Mexico. Maybe it wasn't a spaceship. Maybe it just swam.
I said it had wings.
Or had wings.
Some of them have wings.
Yeah, but I don't think something that big could migrate that easily.
What if they built a raft?
Or there was a boat, and it just like...
Are you saying it's like Jurassic Park and like the boat comes up and it's just a hand on the wheel and they open the hold and like 90 fucking chupacabras fly out?
No, there's just a boat that was going from Puerto Rico to Mexico and just, landed on top of the boat and just chilled there. It's like, yeah. Because that's some basic intelligence. It's not like stupid.
I don't know, man. Fuck the dog.
Yeah, but it's stupid enough to fuck a dog. It's like...
Smart enough to hitch a ride, but stupid enough to fuck a dog.
Monkey boy level of stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't argue that one, man, because that boy was dumb as hell.
I mean, it's just not bright.
Violent
and not bright. And horny.
I don't know, maybe the alcohol is catching up with me now, but like... You're starting to make some kind of sense. No, I don't believe in the chupacabra. There are other animals that could be doing this, various wild dogs and what have you, and like mutant dogs with a mange and everything. I can't believe.
What about the Chupa Chupa?
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Okay, I love the name Chupacabra because it's just so badass. But there's another thing in South America, I'm sorry. During, I think, the 60s or 70s, this is one of the few UFO flaps where there were deaths. Because, like, people would see their friends getting fucking abducted into these ships that look like flying refrigerators.
Like
flying... a fucking, like, the old... 50s refrigerators with a latch handle, the ones that are like streamlined.
Yeah, and chrome.
Like Fallout.
Yeah.
Refrigerators.
Were they flying like long ways or like?
Didn't say. I always picture them long ways, but I
guess maybe.
I kind of hope they're just standing upright like a fucking Frigidaire flying through the air. Like, give me your blood. So these.
On the back, do they have the coils and like the plug dangling down?
I don't know. That would be badass if it did. So imagine for a second, you see this thing, like you and me are out, and I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm a stupid dumbass in the field jumping around, woo! And this refrigerator flies over me and sucks me up inside, and you're staring like, what the fuck? And then just, my body hits the ground, drained of all blood.
Well, they can suck that blood quick, can't
and
they?
That thing just takes off. And I'm like, wow, the fucking, the Red Cross is like hardcore now.
Just sucking all your blood out.
Yeah, so they suck all the blood out. And the South Americans called these things chupa chupa, which is Spanish for suck. Which... I understand you can get that in Tijuana for like $20.
Oh, less than that. Probably $2.
$2. 200 pesos.
$2
You get
suck.
chupa chupa.
Chupa chupa.
So, anyway, again, Chupacabra, I'm putting this at a 2.
2, so it's not completely out of the realm.
Well, I'm saying that there's something down there doing something, but I don't think it's an alien or a government monster.
Or not some supernatural monster.
Yeah, no, it's fucking dogs. Or wolves.
Or someone with a pointy straw.
The tick. It's the...
really big ticks.
Like, fucking huge ticks. Okay, Mike, I'm looking at the time, and I think we have enough time to cover my last topic. And this is one I know you don't know a hell of a lot about, but...
So, I mean, I can infer it based on what you have written.
And you know a little bit about the stuff I researched thanks to the last podcast and
I
me
know,
rambling.
I mean, I've known you for too many years. Mm-hmm. So I know probably all the pieces to this, but not it as a gestalt theory.
Please read the 4 or 5 words.
The military alien industrial complex. So I know what the military industrial complex is. It's saying that, you know, the military and industry are, you know, a thing. They're
tied together in a self-sustaining industry.
Yeah.
All right?
How do you put aliens into that?
Well, it's the same thing, but with aliens.
So in the military industrial complex, the military
let me
buys from industry, and industry supplies the military.
Okay, let's start back with Roswell for a second.
So now you're adding a whole third leg.
I'm adding 13 alien species. All right?
What do they have to do with anything?
Well, just give me a second. All right, so Roswell. Let's say Roswell happened and it wasn't a big, gay fuck Zeppelin. All right? Which, we've got another show where we're going to go into detail on that. Let's say it was an alien spacecraft, all right?
Okay, not a weather balloon.
Not a weather balloon. Not...
I noticed Roswell's not on this list.
No, because that's its own episode where we're going to have to talk about a lot of stuff.
So it's not on your things that aren't list.
Something happened at Roswell, okay?
Okay.
So, I'm not saying it was aliens. I'm just saying something definitely happened at Roswell. So, let's say it was aliens, hypothetically speaking, and they get out there, you know, to the Brazel Ranch where the ship crashed, and there's all these dead bodies in the ship, but there's one alien dude up walking around going, meep, 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 meep. And they take him and they talk to him, and he's like, hey, I was Shecky the cook. I don't know how any of this worked, but if you let me to the radio, I can call my people. And he calls his people, and they come to pick him up, and Eisenhower has this meeting with them. After the Germans in World War II turned them down.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently, the Nazis didn't want to work with the Greys because they're not Aryan. And I'm like, come on, man, you don't get any whiter than the Greys.
Yeah, they're not. They're gray. They're not white.
Yeah, but like they're pale as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they're still they still got some
like
pigmentation there, though.
Yeah, they got the whole fucking like see-through fish thing going. Like,
but so
so the Nazis turned them down, and they were like,
they made contact with the Nazis first.
Yeah, and the Nazis were like, no, fuck you, you're like space juice. I'm not joking. That was what they say happened.
So that seems awful Nazi-centric in itself, saying the Nazis were so awesome, the aliens reached out to them first.
Yeah. Now, I really...
It says a lot about it. People that, you know...
That go into this. Yeah. I want to really point out... Let me back up for a second. Let me step out of the knee-deep bullshit we've waded into already with Nazis and Greys, okay? Let's step back into the world of this is bullshit for a moment, all right?
Okay.
At some point, a guy saw some pretty lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were an airplane, maybe a helicopter, maybe it was something he can't explain. But his immediate reaction to seeing these were, they're working with the government to keep me down. All right, that's basically what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here is that some dude came up with all this shit, and then other people added on to it. Okay.
Well, I'm sure, like anything, it was a evolutionary process. It wasn't just all of a sudden one person come up with this whole cloth sprung out of his head, fully formed like Artemis.
Yeah, they're not like me coming up with a comic idea where just suddenly I've got the whole thing. So they're not that talented. So I'm not saying I'm that talented. I'm just saying, like, I get these ideas. So after the Nazis told them, oh, fuck no, they went to the U.S. government after we picked up Glip Glop wandering around at Roswell going, I can't fix this. How do I get home? So they come down, they have a meeting with Eisenhower, and they strike this treaty saying that in exchange for technology and information, they get to abduct a certain number of American citizens every year for medical experimentation. Alright?
Okay.
And this is exclusive. And if you say no, we'll go make this deal with the Russians. But the thing is, they're already doing it with the Russians.
Like sex things?
Yeah. You know, picking them up, sticking stuff up their butt, sticking a tube on their ding-dong and sucking all the seed out, scraping eggs, all that crazy shit that they're supposed to be doing over here already. They're already doing that with the Russians. Anyway, the point is...
So they're buttering their bread on both sides.
Yes. I don't know how they're holding the bread, because that's sticky and gross.
Well, they gotta have anti-gravity rigs and shit.
Man, can you imagine having like an anti-gravity bread rig so you could actually eat double buttered bread?
Or you could finally make the cat buttered toast perpetual motion
Yeah,
device.
you can make a monorail with that. Anyway, the point is, we've gotten horribly sidetracked on that. The point is...
When do we not?
Yeah. So they've made this deal with Eisenhower. And as time
So that's
goes
the
on...
military and aliens. Okay.
So this gives us a conduit to the other 13 major races out there that are known, which I don't remember all of them, but we're talking about the short grays.
12 other races.
12 other races, 13 total. Okay. So there's the grays, which are the short grays, which are little, supposed to be little robot guys.
Robots?
They're like bio-robots controlled by their masters, which there's the short grays, the tall whites, the Draco reptilians, the Terran reptilians, the Mantis people, the Nordics, the...
Did you say the Mantis ones already?
I did.
Oh.
The Mantis guys, the bug dudes, the Nordics,
Yeah.
the...
Come on, you're at 7.
7, there's like this... Fuck, I don't remember all of them. There's too goddamn many. I know somewhere in there's a fucking Nephilim, so...
Like angels? Angel things?
Well, they're giant reptilian-looking dudes, too, but yes. The point is, this gives us access to all of them, too, because we now have, like, a...
So we're admitted into the Council of the Planets or something.
Let's just call it the Council of Assholes, because they all want our ass.
And blood.
And they want our blood, ass, and cum. Alright? That's basically what aliens are into. They're all ass freaks.
Twisted? Are they twisted ass freaks?
Some of them, yes. Because that's all they... I love the story of the one dude that got abducted and his friend also got abducted. He looks over and his friend is on basically the equivalent of a pole mechanical ball shoved up his ass and a tube on his dick, just like milking the shit out of him, and him just like, ah! Oh God! Ah! What are you doing to Gary? No, it's fine. You know we're not going to do that to you. You're good. Could you imagine that? Like, you look over, I'm being milked to death. And they're like, no, Mike, it's cool, man. You want to come do some paperwork? Like, that's the kind of shit that I hear about. And I'm like, you know, sometimes these stories are great. So anyway, the point is, that gives us access to all these other alien races, right?
Okay.
And, so we go into these agreements with all these different races for different reasons because they all have their own agendas. Mm-hmm. But we profit from them by getting technology from them. And we have a moon base on the dark side of the moon. And we have the secret Space Force, which the revelation of the actual Space Force is just a front for what we already have. And there's a base on Mars that involves time travel, and Barack Obama was a time traveler when he was 11 years old.
Seems all pretty sensible.
So, having explained all that, instead of explaining why I think this is bullshit, I'm going to let everything I just said stand as why this is all bullshit.
Well, I mean, not necessarily.
Wait, you back the fuck up and explain how?
I mean,
it's a lot of information.
No.
To just make up. Now, if you want to hear some really crazy, like, quote-unquote fact stuff about this, read Behold a Pale Horse by Bill Cooper.
I will say I am fighting every fiber of my being to, like, pick this apart.
Mike.
Like, with little tweezers.
Mike, like, I'm letting you off the chain. Go for it. I gotta hear.
No, I gotta defend it.
Can we have opposite day for, like, 2 minutes? Can I give you 2 minutes to just let it go? Because I gotta hear this.
Well, first off, I'll say, none of that really sounds any off base from things that kind of have happened and that, we can demonstrate. I mean, very similar
did I mention
things.
This is also where we get Wi-Fi compact discs and MP3s?
But, I mean, that's always a typical thing, saying anything we...
we didn't come up with anything. Everything came from aliens. We've never invented anything in our lives.
But, this kind of thing happens a lot, like the technology stuff. I mean, especially with other countries, Russia did that to us a lot, taking technology.
Oh, yeah, like the space shuttle that they never launched.
They launched it once.
Really?
Yeah, they launched it. It didn't have a crew on it, but it still orbited the Earth and came back. They said, we did it, good job, and never flew it again. And in some bad ways, their space shuttle was better.
Oh, fuck. Really?
Yeah. Their space shuttle had jet engines on it.
So it could fly.
You could deploy them out, and it could actually fly itself.
Oh, shit, dog.
And...
That's badass.
And it was fully remote. Obviously, it was fully unmanned, controlled and everything. The space shuttle wasn't, because NASA astronauts were afraid that they would be replaced by, non-pilot people. So they were like, if you want us to keep flying, you got to make us important. So the space shuttle could do everything by itself except for one thing. Can you guess what that one thing was?
Steer.
No, it could do that. It could do that all by itself. There was one thing that a person had to do on a space shuttle in its whole sequence of, flight.
Click the I'm here button.
The landing gear.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Space shuttle could not automatically deploy the landing gear. The justification goes, well, the landing gear are deployed by pyrotechnic bolts, and if it were to happen in space, it's a breach of the heat shield and, everybody will fucking die. So they wanted to make double sure that could only be done after re-entry. But after the Challenger and Columbia disasters, after the Columbia disaster mostly, the contingency for another heat shield strike that they thought might not be survivable was to offload everybody at the space station and then land the space shuttle remotely. But they're like, well, we can't deploy the landing gear. They built a fucking patch cable that would go from the computers on one side of the shuttle, string it through, and plug into the console by the pilots. That was only then would the computer have control of the landing gear.
Fuck.
And that's a whole tangent.
That's a tangent that happened.
But to say that, industrial and state-sponsored espionage, I don't even know why I got on that tangent, other than...
Well, you're talking about how, people get technology from other cultures.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I could see that,
Okay,
if they were aliens, that's quite plausible how they would, go about it. It's like, we want your blood and your booties. We're going to give you something in exchange so you can be quiet about it.
Hey man, we got this great thing. It's called CDs. It sounds really fucking cool. It sounds better than your tapes. I mean, like, there's no popping and hissing, and you can really hear Michael Jackson grab his crotch and go,
So the things they say, the things you brought up, they're...
Just this side of plausible.
No, they're not by themselves, in a vacuum, if you knew nothing else about any of those topics, you could go, okay, yeah, we do have some advanced shit. I mean, I have a supercomputer in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cell phone that is literally more powerful than any computer system in the 1990s or even early 2000s. And I use it to watch cat videos.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously is some pretty far out shit.
Mm-hmm. That's the we're living in the future technology.
I'm just trying to wrap up the whole, devil's advocate side.
Mm-hmm.
That, yes, I can see how that you could come to that conclusion if you don't, do some other things like
Research
and watch David Burke.
David Burke?
Connections.
Oh, James Burke.
James Burke.
James Burke.
James Burke. Connections.
Yeah, because nothing happens in a vacuum. Nothing's ever invented by just one person. It's all connected back to like some guy figuring out how to make stylized table legs.
There are people that do that. I mean, there are people that's their whole, like James Burke?
James Burke.
James Burke. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I said David. I keep wanting to say David. But, so yeah, if compact discs, here's me picking it apart now.
Yes, please.
If they came from alien technology, then those kind of motherfuckers would be like, But no, I mean, so the compact disc has a long lineage of precursors, pre-runners, and, trial and error associated. Not to mention the fact that the compact disc was invented in Japan.
Yeah, and can I just say, what the best terminology I ever heard for that really puts compact disc back into perspective? Laser records.
Well, I mean, compact
They're
disc...
laser records.
Not exactly. Because a compact disc does have encoding and...
It's still the same principle. It's a round thing that spins and something reads it.
Yeah, but there is a lot more technology there. I mean, the whole Red Book standard...
I understand that. I'm just saying somebody broke it down simply into laser records.
The laser disc is a laser record.
Okay.
Because it is a completely analog format.
It's true,
the original
and
laser
it's double-sided.
Well,
a lot of them were double-sided.
But it is an analog format. The compact disc's breakthrough of the time, in fact, was that it was digital. Well, you take the analog waveform and you slice it into digital beats depending on your sample rate. So you've seen sample rates. I think
all the burning software has a sample rate.
I think the sample rate of the Red Book audio is like 44 kilohertz, so 44,000 times per second. You're sampling that waveform. Whereas if it was just a optical record, which could be done and had been done in labs before, it'd be like a record. You would have just the laser would pick it up, and with the analog record analogy, it would be the pits and grooves being a direct analog, no pun intended, but it'd be the direct encoding of your waveform instead of a digital representation of your waveform. The big breakthrough with CDs was not only the digitization, but also the error redundancy. I mean, you can have a scratch CD
and it'll still play
because there's no compression, but there is digital error correction built into the structure
of the disc.
But like I was saying, it goes back to, built on the shoulder of giants. It's, none of those technologies existed in a vacuum. They have their precursors.
Right. Well, let's talk about Wi-Fi for a second, which is like the big one that everybody's like, oh, well, that's aliens. Like, first off, what does Wi-Fi stand for? Like, the word Wi-Fi. What is that? What's it short for?
Probably just, it's...
Digital fidelity.
Wireless, probably.
Wireless fidelity? Okay.
Yeah, but, I'm pretty sure the Wi-Fi name was just chosen because it sounded neat and it, resembled
it's like
hi-fi.
But Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So, but,
Wireless internet.
It it didn't come out of nowhere either. I mean, before Wi-Fi, ham radio operators had been sending packeted radio transmissions to each other for
Really?
20, 30 years. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay, so it all basically, again, built on the backs of something else.
yeah.
Okay, that's
It's
awesome.
just-
I didn't realize.
And Wi-Fi is just kind of also a wireless version of Ethernet too.
Yeah.
I mean, after the really unique things for Wi-Fi were were encryption, of course. Being able to encrypt your wireless so no one else can see it, snoop on it,
Okay.
join it, and the authentication standards, which allow you to easily, instead of having a big encryption key, you give someone just your Wi-Fi password.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the bigger advantages,
Right.
Because encryption keys are not usually something that's human readable.
Yeah.
It's like you've seen a MD5 hash or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are
So, what you're saying,
good encryption keys, I should say, are usually not human readable.
right. So, what you're saying, though, is that these alien technologies totally built on shit we've been doing for years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Great.
and that's
Now-
also a pet peeve of mine when there are people like, oh, we have all this stuff that obviously came from aliens. It's like, motherfucker, someone worked their asses off for this, and you're just saying,
my God.
some magic spaceman gave it to us.
Yeah. Okay. Like,
Someone built their doctoral thesis on the basis of these technologies.
and you're just throwing aliens at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely a 1. All right.
Yeah.
For me, like, there's, like, this is fan fiction that the person that came up with it believed.
This is someone that took, to continue to pick it apart, but this is someone that took all the myriad alien abduction stories that had conflicting, types of aliens. They took all that. Basically, they saw all this and they laid it out in front of them like one of those crazy people with the
board with the
walls,
wires and the
and they
pins.
connected it all together and created a narrative out of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally it. That's what it is. Because I mean, like, okay, this is the lizard people. There's which that's the David Icke stuff, and then you got the Greys, which has been Betty and Barney Hill stuff,
Yeah.
and then the Nordics. They finally figured out a way to work in Space Brothers.
Yeah, Space Brothers and hot aliens.
Yeah,
Because everyone wants hot aliens.
Space Brothers is one that was on the list up until like this last revision.
Yeah.
Which is, the whole 1950s, hello, my name is Fivan from Venus, and I am here to tell you that your people must change their ways if they're going to not destroy themselves with atomic weaponry and join the Galactic Republic. And then and everybody that ever met these guys turned into fucking hippies. They all started talking about fucking crystals. And one guy said he got taken to Mars and got to play with Martian puppies.
Well, they got the good space ganja, man.
Man, that's the thing that gets me, man. Why'd it change? What happened? Why'd it go from Space Brothers to there's a tube in my ass?
Well, Space Brothers don't want to put tubes in your ass. They just want to
Well, they
put...
don't. They want to make you groovy, man.
What if a tube in your ass makes you groovy?
I don't think it does.
For a portion of the population, it does.
Motherfucker, have you ever listened to Whitley Strieber? Do you know how many times... okay, here's the other thing. Man goes into the forest, ends up with his butt hurting the next morning. I don't know that that's aliens.
So the pole bucking bronco with the milking device, that's someone's description of a good time.
You remember,
Not very many people, but
yeah,
some people.
you remember on last podcast they used to have a game they played called Ghost, Alien, or Molested? Well, I'm just saying, I don't know that Whitley Strieber got abducted by aliens.
Yeah. Well,
Because, I mean, like, what he said the pain in his rectum is tantamount. He has also said on multiple occasions, I did not give my consent. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Maybe it was one of those renegade proctologists.
Is that a thing?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay,
Shut
well,
up.
you know what? my point is, I don't believe at all. This is a rank 1 on the Kevin the Bastard scale of bullshit.
So with the 13 aliens, how many of them do you think are credible?
All right, here's the thing, right?
I mean, obviously, we can't remember all 13, so we're not going to go through them all. But
okay, Nordics.
I'm assuming the ones you find credible are the ones you're going to remember.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Okay, the reptilians. That's just fun because I love listening to David Icke because his witnesses are always. I swear to God, I wasn't doing acid at the time, but I swear to God, I saw Barack Obama turn into an iguana. And it's like, okay, that's funny as hell right there. I don't believe you, but that's funny as shit. All right, tall whites. Look, I like Gwyneth Paltrow as much as the next guy.
Which is not that much. But
yeah.
Especially
but
her. Well, she could be an alien with her vagina eggs.
Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, that could be like a tracking thing. I don't know. And Tilda Swinton could be one of the tall whites for all I know. You know Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
Androgynous, kind of attractive, super tall, super pale, blonde hair. Really does match the description of the tall whites. All right.
See, they're just infiltrating us and just trying to pass themselves off at us.
Well, one of the things they say about the alien hybrid program is they're trying to make androgyny attractive to us, so that we'll like think hybrid chicks are hot, and vice versa, and hybrid men are hot. So like Tilda Swinton and who's that one Henry always reads? Zooey Deschanel. I'm like, she's cute though. Okay, Mike's just looking around confused.
No, I'm not confused. I'm just like, okay.
So, anyway, Greys, you've no my thing about Greys. I think that a lot of the alien abduction experience, again, involves our experiencing another reality folded on top of ours, and our brain interpreting it with whatever it can pull out of its fucking depths, so we don't see whatever's actually there. Well, the Greys didn't start happening until the majority of people started being born in hospitals. Mm-hmm. And what the first thing we see is a dude with his hair covered, his face covered, and just eyes.
And also very bright lights, because we've been in a freaking...
bright light. So what you're seeing is a distorted memory, possibly.
Your eyes seeing really for the first time.
Yeah, kind of like the Matrix.
And, it makes sense that memory would probably be engraven into your brain.
Oh yeah, that's why the sight of Greys are so horrifying to a lot of people, because it's like that's the first thing you saw, and what's the first thing you did when you saw it? It smacked you on the ass, and you started screaming.
Oh, that's where the butt stuff comes from. It's the thermometer.
Holy shit, you're right.
Because one of the first things they also do is take your rectal temperature.
You're right. So the modern abduction experience really is you reliving birth.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there's
peyote.
a reality folded over, and this is how we're interpreting it, because beforehand it would be the wee folk, or the fae, or whatever, or the Space Brothers maybe. I don't know. Point is, that's as much credibility as I can give the Greys.
So you're saying we're seeing a 3-dimensional projection of 4-dimensional space-time?
Exactly.
And what about the
hypercube?
No, not the hypercube. There was a term I can't remember right now.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, probably. But like the Greys, all right, that's the what I give to them, the short and tall Greys. Tall whites.
What's canonically, not canonically, but in the lore, what's the difference between the short and the tall Greys?
Worker class and ruling class. Like in Invader Zim. The almighty tallest?
Yeah.
Same concept.
There's the tall ones are in charge.
Oh, wow, you're really big. I guess you're in charge now.
So the short ones are child labor.
Still technically robots controlled by the Mantis Men. Yeah. Oh. Okay, there's this great documentary called Love and Saucers. Maybe I talked about this before. But one of my favorite things about it is he's being abducted by the Greys, right? Mm-hmm. And they take him up into the ship, and his first sexual experience is with this hybrid woman who is like a gorgeous woman body from the neck down, and then like a fucking gray head with like Zooey Deschanel hair. All right, and her name's like Aurora or some crazy ass hippie shit. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things is every time they fucked, there is, for lack of a better term, a mantis cuck in the corner, just watching him like, yeah, it's hot. Yeah, oh yeah. Like, that's all he does is just sits in the corner and watches this dude fuck a hybrid woman.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck? Like, he's obviously the boss.
Yeah.
Like, he's in charge of all the other Greys because he's like, yes, fuck the human. Oh, this is some hot shit.
What if that's like the hybrids?
Hi, welcome to Bane Brothers.
What if the hybrid's like husband and he just likes to watch?
Well, that's your prerogative, man. If dude wants to be involved in that, that's fine. But like, the Mantis guys are supposed to be in charge of the Greys.
So you know what I'm seeing with all these various aliens?
What's that?
That they just had to basically, that the fact that they had to basically just take and make space humans for the Nordics to have hot ones, a lack of imagination.
Yeah. And they're the good guys.
Can't you just have some...
Oh, the Pleiadians are also the good
some
guys.
Freaky, hot alien babes? I mean, let's face it, a gray head just does nothing for me.
No, dude, the paintings are fucking nightmares. There's this one he did of like the gray face just like smiling and she's like holding her boobs up like this. I'm like, it's not doing a thing for me here. I'm not interested.
I mean, even Lucasfilm could make,
I'm not picking up what he's putting down.
I mean, come on. We have a friend of ours that really wanted to screw the Genotians.
Yeah, but like I kind of get that because they move kind of like,
hey,
how's it going? Touch me, my name's Lama Sue.
But all the
in all fairness, the same guy wanted to fuck the alien monkey thing from the Lost in Space movie.
Oh yeah. True.
Okay, so like I think he's just got a thing.
Oh God, I forgot about that thing.
Yeah, Blarp.
God, that was
Blarp the monkey alien. He was like, they're like, I just remember him going, we're like, hey, you want to fuck the daughter, don't you? Yeah. You want to fuck the younger daughter? Oh no. Kind of want to fuck the monkey thing too. It's like, oh no. Oh, why did I not just shut up?
Yeah.
So, some people are just into weird alien shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that they
like the reptilians aren't even hot.
No,
they're just. And the thing is, like a lot of them, you'll see art of them. They're like big, tall, strapping. I'm basically a big, muscular dude with a lizard head. You know what most of them actually look like? Iguanas. Just fucking
standing up iguanas.
Nope. Just they'll stand up sometimes to do something, but they're like 8 to 9 foot long iguanas walking around going. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, whatever. I mean, not I'm just like that. Wow.
Like and the thing that gets me, and this is the major reason why I can't believe any of this, and I know we're going into overtime on this one, but
double secret overtime.
Dude. The reason there's no evidence for any of this. Like, okay, everything else we've covered, there's some kind of a sighting.
Yeah.
Video footage, photos, something.
This is basically taking disparate instances and trying to weave a tale. This is basically what Paramount tried to do with the horror cinematic
Dark Universe. It was Universal.
Universal.
And they tried to do the Dark Universe with like all their monsters.
This is just the Alien cinematic universe. The UFO cinematic universe, basically.
Yeah, dude. You nailed that shit. That's exactly what it... How do you like the fact that you were the devil's advocate right up until we got to this? And now it's like, I can't do this.
It took a lot of discipline. I mean, seriously, I had to bite my tongue.
I'm proud of you, man. You did like really... You kind of changed my mind on a couple of these that would have been ones. I was like, okay, Mike's kind of right. There's like enough for me to like go, okay, a little bit. So, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we've
pumped this well dry.
My God, man, we are just mud coming up now. Just mud, dust, dead fish. Just like when you masturbated for like the 5th time when you were 13. in that one day during the summer when no one was home, and you're like, nothing's happening.
I can neither confirm nor deny that has happened.
Oh, you're full of shit, motherfucker.
I can neither confirm nor deny that has ever happened.
So, thank you again for listening. I want to thank everybody for your support with the show. It has been amazing. I've really appreciated all the kind words people have been giving to me about the show. I know you guys seem to really like Mike being on here. He's a fun guy to bounce things off of. Mike, did you set that email address up that I sent you?
I think I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, so you can now contact Mike at supernaturalselectionpod.com.
Say that twice as fast.
No.
Yeah, so since I'm having an email address, you can direct, if you want to take me up on my challenge of, the first 5 entries I get, or first 5 respondents I get for an episode, I will read on the next episode.
Yeah.
As long as, it's not
you
completely
suck.
Vulgar.
Yeah.
Well, no, if it's you suck, I'll read that. I'll be like,
okay.
You suck, and I'll be like, no, you suck too, motherfucker. As long as it's not, like, racist.
Yeah.
I mean, and I will, if it is, like, really vile shit, I will name and shame. If, you better use a burner email.
Definitely. We will.
You're
you're fucking nicked me, old beauty.
If it's within the spirit of what I'm throwing out there, I would not mention.
Yeah. If you're going to respond in the spirit of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean.
So.
Even if it is, like I said, criticism, suggestions.
That's great. I want to hear it. We both want to hear it. So you can hit Mike up at Skeptical Mike at supernaturalselectionpod.com. You can hit me up using the contact form on the website.
I'm not on the contact form?
The contact form just goes to one email address. I'm sorry. You can also... There's new merch.
We have merch?
We have merch. We have...
I didn't know we had old merch to have new merch.
Yeah, there's the logo shirts that have Enrique the Frog.
I still want the laser shirt.
Oh, we're going to work on that. Kit's going to do a shirt for Throwawaylian. I'm going to work on some other designs coming up. We have the I supported the reptilian conspiracy, and all I got was this stupid shirt. We have various stuff that just says the name of the podcast on there, including polo shirts and hats. We have stickers of the album art that are great for purchasing in mass quantities and tagging your city to spread the word. But yeah, you can also, again, find us on our Facebook page, which is just Supernatural Selection. You can hit us up on Twitter at SupernatPod. And again, let us know what you think.
We're on all the major pod.
Yes, we're on everything right now except Google Podcasts at the moment. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but we're on Podstitcher. Or no, it used to be Podstitcher. Now it's just Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Apple, Spotify, our normal RSS feed, which is podcasts.com. But
and of course, Deviant Radio.
DeviantBehaviorRadio.com, where this airs Friday nights at midnight and Sundays at noon. It's repeated. So be sure to tune in live.
If you want to hear some of our favorite music, we're also
I program Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And Clark Wayne does the rest of the week right now. We also have some new live shows and just new music shows going up. And just there's a lot going on at the station right now. So be sure to check that out as well. So yeah, I think that's about it.
There's even an app for it.
There is an app for it. It kind of sucks right now, but we're working on that. So anyway, that's about it. We will talk to you guys next week with another topic to be determined in the future. So Mike, thank you again for being on.
Yes.
I will see you next time. So stay frosty.
Yes. Wow.
Wow. Supernatural Selection has been a production of DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. You can find it and more shows broadcast weekly at DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. Our theme music is Screensaver by Kevin MacLeod. It is used through Creative Commons license, and more of his music can be found at incompetech.filmmusic.io.